Welcome to the Tired of Talking podcast. I am your host, Carmen Rozier, and this is the podcast where we talk about all the things we are tired of talking about that we want to put an action plan to. Come to the place where you can rediscover, recreate, and redesign your life. Let's get into it. Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to another episode of the Tired of Talking podcast. This is episode 10 of the Tired of Talking podcast, and I'm your host, Carmen Rozier. You guys know this is the podcast where we talk about all the things that we are tired of talking about that we want to put an action plan to. And on this week's episode, I am still doing my thing. I help divorced women who have endured an extreme amount of trauma to heal what they need to reveal from the inside out and get to their next. I help divorced mothers recreate, rediscover, and redesign their lives. On this week's episode, I want to focus on the topic of drama. And not just drama, but no more drama. Y'all know, like Auntie, she ain't my auntie, she's Sister Mary J, but no more drama. And it reminds me, I want to go back to a time when I was turning 30 years old, when I was approaching my third decade of life. Imagine that, it was a long time ago already. But as I was approaching my third decade of life, one of my closest friends growing up was faced with her mortality. She was getting ready to pass. And I say it very light, with light brevity, because she was completely in tune with and had come to terms with the inevitability of her passing. She had resigned herself that this is what life was going to be. We had very in-depth, long discussions about what she wanted it to look like when she transitioned. And for us, the conversation, she had 5 beautiful children who were small at the time. I think 4 of them are grown. Shoot, no, all of them are grown. But we had some very in-depth conversations. And at that time, I was going through a turbulent point of my marriage. And so I used to visit her in the hospital. We were having conversations. And, you know, I said something about being tired of the drama or whatever it is that I said. And she was very, you know, very weak during this time. So I say that to say that she chose her words wisely. Like she wasn't long-winded at all. So it was get straight to the point. But what she said to me was, there is no such thing as drama. There is only what we choose to deal with and what we choose not to deal with. May God rest her soul. That was from the words and from the mouth of Donisha Benson Lardell. Those words have never left me. She transitioned in 2005. And in 2022, those words rest as fresh in my soul as they did on that day. And why? Because it's one of, you ever heard somebody tell you something and it just cracks you straight down the middle? That's exactly what happened, because here I was in a situation that I thought I had to deal with because I was in it. I was married to it. And she just flat out said, these are choices. These are choices. And last week we talked about boundaries. And same thing, what do you choose for your life and what do you choose to deal with, whether you're married to a situation or not? But when she said, no more drama, like there is no drama, that's powerful. So I bring that to you all today because that's what I want to talk about. When we think of the situations that we are dealing with in our day-to-day life, that we are resigned to, that we accept, that we think we have to accept, we don't. And that's what I want to talk about. We don't have to be in situations that suck the life out of us, that deplete our energy, that are not paying forward to a bright future that we may have for ourselves. And so why do we deal with it? Why do we put up with the things that we put up with? And I have a few theories, and I will always put myself on the table first. And I will say, for me, that old codependency word, there was a dependency or a slight addiction to the drama. I ain't gonna lie. I have been known to be confrontational, you know, get people together and love the opportunity to do it. And so when there was a situation and I felt like this is not drama because I'm gonna check this thing right where it is. I'm gonna check this way, check it this way. No, these were situations that because of that, I was continuing to draw circumstances and situations that would present me with the perfect opportunity to have drama. Those are not good characteristic traits. Those are not things that are fuel or seeds for my future. And so when I sit here and look at present situation and present circumstance, I can see where there were situations that were presented with drama that were lingering much longer than they needed to. They were in the midst longer than they needed to. They were in my present reality longer than they needed to be. So even though those words felt fresh on me in 2005, I was still continuing to find myself in situations that were drama filled. Now, life happens. Like we say, life is going life, left, right, all on top, through and around us. There's nothing that we can do about that. But what we can do and what we can control is how we respond to certain situations and how we choose to navigate through certain situations. And beginning with drama, I now avoid those things like the plague. If it even looks, smells, or sounds like it's going to go down drama Ave, this is where, remember that button on the bus that you used to push to say, to signal this is where you get off? I don't even know if they still have that, but this is my signal, this is my cue to exit stage left. I'm getting off right here. This is my stop. And what is it that is in your life that you are continuing to put up with or deal with? And then ask yourself why. When I even consider for myself why I was addicted to drama or why I dealt with and put up with so much drama, it's literally as simple as this. It was all I knew. It was all I knew. When I look back in retrospect and consider my upbringing and the people who were most impressionable upon me in my formative years, those would be the first 5 years of my life. I was, you ever see a little girl? She's a little old lady. I was a little old woman. I loved sitting at the feet of my elders. And in this case, it was my mother's mother, my grandmother. And so I got to take you to a time and I got to paint the picture, make it real clear, because I was a small child in the 70s and the upbringing, and I was raised by women and men. My family was from the South. And we all have heard the mantra that children are to be seen and not heard. Now, even though I was a chatterbox and rarely could be made or told to shut up, like literally, I remember having tape on my mouth. And when I'm sitting with my grandkids, it's like, ooh, wow, this is exactly how I was. Like, where's the off button? But I say all that to say, even through all of that, what I enjoyed more than talking was listening to my grandmother talking to her sisters, and it was 4 of them. And when I say the tea, I could just, and they said kids are to be seen and not heard. So I knew that if I was small too, so I could crouch up under a table or a chair, get my coloring book, and as long as I didn't say anything, once I figured out this magic trick, y'all, it was on and popping. As long as I didn't say anything, they paid no attention to me because they were so caught up in what they were talking about. Now, even though I can't tell you the time, places, or even the context of the conversation, what drew me was the energy of, just, and girl, and when you talk about tea, my grandmother stayed with a coffee mug in her hand. So when they made that meme, they had my grandma Anna in their mind, and she's been dead since 1984, but that was her with her cup of coffee and the phone that was connected to something. It was, in her case, it was right next to her recliner on her little coffee table that was right next. That phone, there was a busy signal back in the day. The expectation when you called my grandmother's phone number was to hear that busy dial tone, that beep, beep. That was the expectation. If you were able to get it to ring, That was like winning the lottery because grandma stayed on that phone. But as long as I could be in the room and just listen and just soak in all of that energy, like that was my motto. Now we ain't gonna say grandma was messy and grandma was gossiping, but she definitely was gossiping. She definitely, always had, whatever the late breaking, whatever, my grandmother was on it. And I mean, I soaked that up. So subconsciously I was drawn to drama or anything or conversation or situation that could draw out that, that adrenaline. I think it's like an adrenaline rush, that context. So it's, right, wrong, or indifferent. I didn't realize that I was being attracted to drama. And now in hindsight, again, looking back, now I know, yeah, so there was divorce situations going on, something was happening over here. And so those were being drawn into my atmosphere. And as of recent, which is the reason for this week's podcast, I was speaking with a beautiful soul, a little sister. When I say little sister, that means that I'm old enough to be said person's mother. So I'm speaking to this beautiful soul and I'm listening to the plight of her relationship issues. And those words just began to resonate in my mind that you say that you are sick of drama. You say that you are tired of it, yet you continue to get in the ring with it. You continue to sleep with it. You continue to engage with it. So the only way to know that you are truly tired of something is when you get sick and tired of being sick and tired. You will obliterate and remove that situation from your life. It's hard to do, guys. It's so hard to do. And I know it is. It's so hard to do when the drama or the source of the drama are our loved ones. It is very difficult to create those boundaries and put those things in place to keep those scenarios out of our stratosphere of existence. I know it's hard because it took me years upon years, dare I say decades, to get to the point where, no, I'm really tired of this. This is not doing anything for my life, for me, my children, my goals, my dreams. This is not helping me at all. As a matter of fact, not only is it not helping, it's a hindrance. And so I use myself as an example to this beautiful soul to say that in order for things to change, things need to change. We cannot change people. The only thing that we can do is change ourselves. We individually are only able to self-correct and self-govern. And ourselves are the only ones that we can control. And I would even say, like Paul said it in the Bible, we can't even control ourselves sometimes. We are constantly at a battle with our spirit and our flesh. We are constantly putting ourselves in dramatic situations because sometimes we can't even govern ourselves. So I understand that it is very difficult sometimes to create, like I said, the boundaries and the changes that are needed for another person. And since you cannot change another person, then sometimes you have to, yeah, you have to remove those people and situations from their life. Now, is it a contingency? Depends on who it is. We teach people how to treat us. So maybe over the course of time, then said individuals may be able to earn their place in your space. I like that. They get to earn their place in your space. But if their space is always occupied with that old drama cloud, that old dramatic force field that surrounds them, then unfortunately, it just has to remain that way. And so, like I said, I have a huge empathy for that. But in order for things to change, things need to change. And if you want any indication of what your future is going to look like, it's going to look the same as it does in your current situation if nothing changes. And that's really it. So no more drama. It's a choice. Choose to be drama free by choosing. And in order to make, sometimes you got to give yourself an alternative. So in place of this, instead of this dramatic situation taking place, then this over here will replace that. And so that's when we get into self-love. We talked about self-love and things that you can do for yourself that empower you versus deplete your energy. How can you empower yourself? For me, it was exercise. It was working out. There is an amazing transformation that happens when I exercise, and I encourage everybody to do it. Working out is really addicting. And so to replace, when you're rewiring your mindset, you have to change what the information is that you receive and the response. So you have to regenerate what those triggers are. And so in order to get that, I'm not an adrenaline junkie, but like I said, there was an adrenaline connected to the drama or dramatic situation. So to replace that toxic chemical release, I replaced it with the endorphins that come from an exhilarating 3-mile run. My new thing is weightlifting and something about resistance training. So, you want confrontation, go get some weights because they're going to give you a run for your money. You will definitely get the resistance that you're looking for. And because I like that confrontation, I thrust and I push on those weights. And then the result is that there's, like I said, there's a chemical release. These amazing endorphins are cycling through my bloodstream. And then over the course of time, I dare you to do this for an extended period of time. Over the course of time, then you are actually going to look like what you're doing. And then your body just starts changing. So that's the added bonus. So look good, feel good, all those things. I'm participating in a challenge right now. I'm so excited. And it is called, I'm about to say 45. I'm on day 45 of 75 hard. 75 hard, y'all. This is a mental, they said it's a mental toughness program, but just Google it because I'm not necessarily an advocate for this program. I am participating in this program within a community. I'm in the Breathe University, BU community. That is a Dr. Eric Thomas and Associates branch of his community, and I love it. And so the people, some of the people, not all of us, challenge, they're doing the 75 hard. So you hear something enough and it's like, well, what's 75 hard? And I started doing this program. It's hard. It's hard because you think it's just working out. Guys, it is reading 10 pages of a self-help personal development book a day. It is a 5-minute cold shower a day. It is 2 workouts a day, 1 in the morning. One of them has to be outside, and then another workout. We got to take a daily picture and follow a diet. And so all of those things individually sound easy, but they're compiled together, and having to schedule this out every day is hard. But I'm saying all that to say is that with the same level of desire or whatever it is that you're looking for, when you go down another avenue or go down another path, you will get those results. So I'm challenging everybody to no more drama. When there is a dramatic situation that tries to pull you in, that is a downward spiral energy. Like that's a low level energy. So when that drama tries to pull you, whatever you need to do to replace that, and I don't know who I'm talking to, maybe this whole podcast is just for myself or to the beautiful soul who dropped in her spirit and dropped it in me that she's tired of dealing with drama. If you are tired of dealing with drama, then find something that is not dramatic. Get yourself something to pull you in that is going to replace that drama with something positive that is going to fuel your future. Because if you want your future, if you want the next 10 years and the next 20 years to look like they're looking right now, don't change something. Because in order for things to change, things need to change. And so, you know what, I'm gonna leave it right there because, I could talk on and on and on. But this is where I am so excited that if you are listening to me, And I'm saying anything that resonates in your spirit and you want to get some one-on-one or get more of this coaching and information, I am inviting you to join my community. Follow me on Instagram at Blessed Trinity, spelled with a 3. You'll see it right here. And DM me and receive a free copy of my book, Till My Death Did We Part, The Life, Death, and Resurrection of a Family. That book talks about a whole lot of drama that I had to deal with. See, I said I had to deal with. I have to. A lot of drama that I chose to deal with, and then when I chose to stop dealing with the drama. You'll receive a free copy of that book. And then until next week, be blessed. I look forward to connecting with you and talking with you soon. Bye-bye.